Hey, all, welcome back to In the Blind Podcast. I'm Eric Gunderson. This is my co-host, Stephen Barker Liles.
It's me. I'm back.
Today, we've got a guy here with us. We've been trying to get on the podcast for a while. We're thrilled to have him. He's had a whirlwind career here in Nashville, been through it. He's had some crazy cool success. We all welcome Mr. Matt Stell.
Yay.
What's up? Yeah, thank you, everyone.
A round of applause.
Welcome.
right.
Happy Monday.
That's right. Here we are. Happy Monday, man. We survived our ACLs intact like half the NFL didn't. So
No, man.
Dude, that was a
What
crazy day yesterday.
What a sad day for
golly,
people.
man. Yeah, you hate to see that.
I literally, I've torn my ACL and I saw Micah go down. I was like, oh, that's ACL for sure.
Those non-contact, when those big dudes buckle like that,
Yeah.
it's never. Yeah.
That's what happened to mine. My leg just went back. My knee just went backwards.
Oof, boy.
But here I am.
Here we are.
I didn't
You
go
survived.
pro. I didn't go pro in basketball, but
That's
I went,
why,
I
though.
went pro in music.
That's right, you did.
Yeah,
It
boy.
probably saved you. You know what it did? It probably, that ACL, not having that, sent you down this path. Here we are.
Here we
Yep.
are. And
So.
2 kids are alive in the world because of it.
That's right. And thriving.
Indeed. Thriving.
And maybe some more out there. I don't know, you know.
Speaking of basketball, you played at Drury?
I did, man.
That's dope.
Yeah, man, I had some hoop dreams for a while, and that was the first, that was my whole life. Like we're sitting here in Riley's duck blind, and I hooped like Riley hunt ducks. Like that was my thing.
How
and
tall are you?
I'm 6'7".
That's
Yeah.
6, 7. So how's that been for you?
Man, yeah, it's been awesome with my nephews. Man, they really are excited about how tall I am.
That's awesome.
But
yeah, they're hoping they get some of those genetics passed down.
That's
huh?
right. I hope they do. But
That's cool.
yeah, man, I hooped and that was the biggest part of my life. And then I got to college and picked up a guitar and you know, like your ACL, you know, set you down the path maybe, you know. And my path, Joe Johnson, former Arkansas
Yeah,
great,
dude.
he sent me down the path of music because in a
Really?
yeah, man, because in the summer in a Pro-Am league, like he gave me like a smooth 35 and like everywhere you wanted it, like
He was
finesse,
so
power. And
good.
I was like, I can't do anything here, you know, like maybe I'll try to box you. So he euthanized my hoop dreams so that I could be here.
He was
rocking out.
elite, man.
Oh, bro, dude, Wavy Joe Johnson was the
I loved
sickest,
him.
bro. The smoothest game, clutch buckets, get his own.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he's like, oh, yeah. Taller than me. It's about, I mean, you can't tell how big these guys are sometimes on TV.
Yeah.
The NBA guys, how big they
Well,
are.
they're all so big. Like when we're watching them on TV, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they all look about the same height. Like,
Dude,
you're
if
not
Steph Curry
thinking
walked
they're
in here, you'd be
monsters.
like, oh my God, who's that tall guy?
And
I mean,
he's one of the smallest ones.
He's
Yeah.
he's a
Yeah,
small
my
6'4".
hoop dreams died in high school when I was gonna have to play second fiddle to Steph Curry. So
yeah, there you go.
I just watched him play.
That's right.
Instead of sitting on the bench.
And you played soccer though.
I did.
Big
I
soccer
did.
guy.
Soccer,
That's right.
yeah.
Love
but
that,
it's
man.
fun.
I love
It's
my
fun.
Premier League soccer before kickoff on
Oh, yeah.
on Saturdays and Sundays or whatnot.
Like, it starts
awesome.
early, right?
Yeah, it starts like at 9 a.m. The games are like they move. You just have it on while you're
Yeah.
doing your other stuff. I like EPL.
There's a new bar in town, like that Fog
Street or
Fog
something?
Street is like
It's a
all soccer
soccer
decked
bar.
out. Like they're open, serving full food at like 7, 8 a.m. on Sundays and stuff like that.
Hey man, that's cool.
It's a dope bar. We played at the rooftop the other day. I was like, "What is this? It's like a soccer bar.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
That's
if
sick,
you want
man.
to get up early and go somewhere and
Yeah,
do
it's
watch
fun.
it.
Or
I
if you-
think people like Messi and Beckham and all those coming to the MLS like really
Yeah.
put it on the map because my whole life soccer's never really been a thing in the U.S. and then now that
yeah.
I'm an adult, it seems like it really is. So
Seems like it's
been-
kind of taking hold, doesn't it? I mean, like you know, like Nashville's club is like
Yeah, they're
very
very good this
popular
year.
here.
They're gonna
I mean,
lose some attendance due to ice, but you know it's worth the sacrifice.
Yeah, don't go to a soccer game in Nashville if you're Hispanic because they're waiting for you.
golly, man. Dang.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. You know.
So you're from Arkansas, like me and my family, and you moved to Florida just like me. That's wild when you told me that.
That's weird, dude. Yeah. I was a kid. I went kind of kindergarten through 8th grade, kind of back and forth, but mainly in Florida during the school year. So I felt like I grew up a lot there in Bradenton, just south of Tampa. And you said you grew up in Clearwater.
Did you ever
just-
go to Heber Springs and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, we've been to Heber Spring, been to the lake a bunch, dude. That's
Bentonville's
really-
a good time.
Bentonville's
Fire
a great
in the hole, man.
Bentonville's a great time,
Let's
dude.
go.
Yeah, Fayetteville up there. I
Yeah.
went to after I got done playing ball, I went to Fayetteville and did some more school up there. So I lived up there
Oh.
for a couple years, and it was
That's
great,
fun.
man.
That's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Arkansas is a beautiful place.
It is. It's if that's what you like, and which that is
Yeah.
what I like a lot of the times is natural beauty. Man, it's tough to beat. There's not a whole lot other than that, but
yeah, that's true.
But it is.
I am a beach guy, but I don't mind the Ozarks every now and then.
Yeah, absolutely.
You duck hunter at all?
Man, I duck hunt a little bit. I mean, I'm mainly I was in Stuttgart, DeWitt 2 weekends ago, but I was deer hunting. So I mainly deer hunt, turkey hunt. It's kind of my thing, but I'll sit in the
Any
blind.
chance I get to go out to Stuttgart or anywhere in the Delta flyway?
Yeah, exactly,
I mean,
dude.
It's
It's
just
wild.
a different kind of duck hunting.
It's so
out there.
cool, man.
That's great.
It's you see why it matters so much to folks. It's like it's a different kind of hunting. You slinging a lot of lead and you doing your thing. It's cool, or I guess tungsten as it were.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just it's totally different than deer hunt. It's than
Oh,
any
yeah.
other type of hunting.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just-
right.
I enjoy it just because you sit in a tree by yourself
Mm-hmm.
a lot, and that's nice, and I really enjoy that time. But then
Yeah.
there's also something about going sitting in a blind with a bunch of your friends and
Oh yeah,
you know,
with
just
a
having
griddle
a great
behind
time.
you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%. And when I was a kid, my dad was a big bird hunter, but he was a quail. We had a lot of quail, and we don't really have quail as much anymore. Kind of really anywhere where I grew up, but
Where'd they go? Did they leave?
yeah, I think it. Yeah, I mean, it's something with. I don't know. You have to talk to like someone who actually knew. This is
Yeah.
again something I'm going to repeat that I heard, and I don't know where I heard it. It's like,
I love that.
There's like the population of like cats, whether that's bobcats or like domesticated cats, and then also the climate change, like shifting the same way it does with ducks. It moves it as the as the cycles come. But the quail's not like they were. When I was growing up, I mean, my dad had 6 or 8 dogs, quail, bird dogs that we'd go after school or something. We'd hit the woods, try to find a covey,
That's awesome.
and
That's cool. I did my first pheasant hunt a couple months ago. That was awesome.
so fun, dude.
That was fun.
Yeah,
It's just different. It's fun to hunt different birds different ways.
100%, man.
It's cool that
it is.
and the culture around all of it, and some of these people, it's like that's their life, like hunting one
That's who I
species
was
of
with,
birds.
those
Like
people.
and that's cool to me. I think conservation and all that, just it's exciting, and I think a lot of people don't understand. It's like most hunters aren't really in the climate change, discussion, because like you just said, it's like they recognize, okay, migratory birds are affected by cycles and weather, and everything is cyclical and it changes. And it's, I don't know, people that hate on hunting and the people that are out there, doing the Lord's work in a sense,
Doing the
and
Lord's work.
keeping herds healthy, and it's
Man. I mean,
ecosystems. It's cool. It's
and I mean, I have some empathy for people that didn't grow up hunting and don't know where their food
for
comes
sure.
from. It's not necessarily their fault.
Yeah.
That if like I'm like if you're gonna, this is not a controversial take, but if like unless you're like just a stone cold vegan, then like you're the animal, the meat that we're harvesting has a lot better life than a lot of the other stuff that you could get. But I mean, it's but it is like you could see how when people don't grow up with it, it's different to them, and so I always try to be like sensitive to that, especially because I want people to understand that what we're doing is like, we love it, we're passionate about it, but it also serves a purpose for the land, and it serves a purpose for
and if you can
hunting our own meat. So.
you can conserve and take care of the land and the animals, and then have a blast doing it. It's like best of both worlds, in my opinion. Most people, like you're talking about, it's like once you sit down and talk to them and explain everything about it. And I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, "Have you ever heard the story of Yellowstone, where gray wolves or whatever had been removed, and they introduced like 6 of them back to Yellowstone, and they started this whole new wolf pack and stuff, and like all the riverbeds and stuff that had become overgrown, and the whole ecosystem had suffered because of it. And as soon as they introduced those predators back, everything started to come back, and the balance came back that was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And it's like Now there are herds of elk that you can hunt out there, and now there's stuff that has come back, and there's been a resurgence, and like all of a sudden those people are like, oh, well, that makes sense. I can see it from that perspective.
And Kevin Costner.
What about those assholes shooting bears in a cage though? I'm like, yeah, I don't do that. I don't promote that either. I think those people are lazy, and that's not hunting.
They've been seeing great white sharks in like random new places recently, right? I've been seeing that on my Twitter feed, X feeds, like. Great white shark spotted in blah, blah, blah.
Rosemary Beach. It's like
Rosemary Beach. Yeah.
Man, they turns out those sharks really like white meat.
That's funny.
Swimming around Rosemary, the 38. Well, they're just cruising, but yeah, man, it's wild.
That's cool. What sparked your move to Nashville? Like, I know you said in college you picked up a guitar.
Yeah, man. I mean, I started playing music, and I kind of fell in with the like Texas red dirt sort of like scene. Like it really spoke to me in college, and so I was like, man, this is cool. And I picked up a guitar, and I was like, oh, well, maybe I can kind of do this. And I spent a lot of time in that world and trying to do that, and then had a little success writing with. I wrote a couple songs with Casey Donahue that he like.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, man, Casey's his wife managed me for a while, and
cool.
He was always really good to me.
We did a song with him back in the day.
Oh, nice.
College days.
Oh, sick. Well, so yeah, like he's always, and he's they're really smart about the business and smart. But anyway, I had written a couple songs with him that did well on the Texas chart. So it kind of gave me the confidence to come here, because I think when you like I had a cousin here that was crushing it and had a record deal, and she was like fantastically talented, and so. When I would come here, I would go watch her, or I would come to like places like this and watch a writer's round or something like that, and go, I was writing songs in my whatever dorm room or apartment or whatever, and then I would get here and listen to these songs and be like, I'll never write a song that good, like I'll never sing that good, all these people that get up there can play better than me, write better than me, sing better than what do I have any business doing, but for some reason I stuck with it, and it's very cliche, I guess, but it's cliche because it's true. It's like one song changed my whole trajectory, my whole life. And
that was
prayed for you. Yeah, man, we prayed for you. I wrote that. I guess I either wrote that in 17 or 18. I guess I probably wrote it in 17, and then we cut it in 18. I put it on an EP that my publisher at the time was putting out of just my stuff. And
who'd you write that with?
I wrote that with Allison Veltz and Ash Bowers, and Allison. It was Allison came in, like we came in to write, and Allison, we tossed some ideas around, and Allison said, well, I was at a function last night, and I met this guy, and I think I might have, be the one I prayed for. Like I prayed for him. She was like, oh, it kind of had this more than I could fathom. Didn't know you from Adam, but I prayed for you. And we were just like, let's write that, and cool. And I have I don't know how y'all feel about, like, sometimes I feel like everybody when they hear a song just kind of assumes that the singer is the main character in it,
Right.
And it usually is, not all the time, but like with me, we told her story in a way that I could tell it, that I could sing it and kind of be the person. And man, I really enjoyed that, like getting to tell that story of someone else's, from a perspective that I could sing it, and then
listening to you sing it, it's believable. Like,
well,
I would have assumed that same thing. That
thank you. And it was just a lot of fun to like. I enjoy that about songwriting too. Sometimes is like either writing with or for other people, or writing for girls and stuff like that. It like kind of gets you out of that, like it gets you out of your thing, and it's a little kind of fun. And so, but anyway, yeah, man, that song changed. That song changed everything for me, and that's basically that sounds like a very direct path to here, and it was not at all. And I almost left when I got here, and then
really,
yeah, man. I mean, I'd been here for 2 years and hadn't gotten a publishing deal in over 2 years, and I was like, what am I doing? I'm watching people I grew up with like buy houses and have kids, and are talking about like 401ks and shit. And I'm thinking, and I'm like,
I wish I had the money to pay.
Yeah,
one of those.
Like, you mean you have 401,000 of something? Is that what a 401k is? And but I was just like, I wasn't feeling it from. I put the pressure on myself, like I was like, what am I doing? Like my dad was a contractor, and when oil and gas got big, in Arkansas, and my dad had, I would go back and work for him some early on the pipeline and do that. And I knew, I guess I kind of had a job if I wanted it. I just didn't want to do it. I wanted to make this music thing work. And I just here we sit, but somehow, but it was one song, that changed it all and led to other stuff.
Now you feel like kind of getting into it in that red dirt kind of vein and niche, like to go from that to singing. I mean, and from my perspective, it's like a badass wedding song almost,
dude.
Like,
100%.
So to go from that to now,
that's a great question.
Not saying you're known for that, but like your hits, in my opinion, are like songs that make people feel things, and like it brings them back to that moment. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, is that a weird thing for you to kind of? Do you feel like you've been pigeonholed kind of in that kind of vein, or do you feel like you have the freedom to be whatever it is that you want to be?
That's a great question, dude, and that's really like somebody that's kind of been in that world. I moved when I first started making music. Like I didn't care for, like, music out of Nashville to me was about how awesome it was to be a dad and how much you loved your wife, and I didn't have either one of those. I was like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear about whiskey in a bar. I want to hear about something badass. And so I set out to do that, and then I got to town. We wrote that song, and again, I was very proud of writing that song because I just want to write, what I consider, humbly, but I would consider that a good song.
Yeah.
Like I was very proud of that. Yeah. We sat down, we wrote this, and I didn't think, I really at the time thought I was writing that song for another artist. Like I thought that was a pitch, I thought, man, Blake Shelton would sound awesome on this, And we were going to do that EP I was talking about, and we were getting our songs together. And my manager and I at the time, we had a list. 5 songs were the same. One song was different, and the one song that was different on his was "Prayed for You" was on his list, and it wasn't on mine. Like I was like, oh, I thought I wrote a cool song, but I'm not really that guy. He's like, man, I think we ought to put "Pray for You" on this. It's and I listened, and that is a case of me listening and it really paying off big time.
Yeah, dude.
And but yeah, dude. So now, dude, I'm proud to have any kind of song anybody cares about. But I wasn't the music I thought that I was going to be making. It wasn't the music I thought that was going to be what did that. And so there was always this, oh man, this song is cool. But again, like I mentioned, it wasn't me necessarily. It was me telling a story. Kind of like, it's like Kenny Rogers in The Gambler. Like, I don't think he was really a hobo on a train, getting gambling advice, but it was kind of like that. And and so yeah, but the more you do it, the more you realize, like, you're the guy in the song. People associate, I'm the Pray for You guy, and I'm just glad to be associated with any kind of music.
From my perspective, it's like, if you're any kind of guy, right, like that's associated with you, that's a really good thing, because now you also have a platform to do 100%. All the red dirt, whatever it is that you want to do. It's like now you can do whatever you want. It's not like you're chasing that one, that one moment or that one hit. I'm sure we all are. Again, it's like you want that again, but I think it frees you up to take some, liberties creatively and
100%.
Do something that maybe you wouldn't have had the opportunity before.
Man. And again, it's like, y'all know, like, when you get in this and you're grinding, just beating your head against the wall and, like, trying to get anything going, when you do finally get something going, when you do, like, it's like, I'll always be so immensely grateful for that. Even if it didn't look like what I maybe thought it was going to look like when I had something going. So, but yeah, to your point, like, it opened a lot of doors, and like now, I'm lucky enough to have songs that I can go, tour on. I can go play at weddings. I did that this weekend.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, and then I can also gives me a platform to when I want to do different things. Like I've got this new project, The Drift, that I'm working on, that's coming out single by single. But it's a departure from any of the country music. Not only that, the Pray for You stuff, but even the stuff on the radio that I had after that. Right. This is just different, and it's cool. It's like, at first I was like, man, how this isn't what I'm doing, so how's that going to be? Is that going to be perceived as inauthentic or something? But really, to my manager Chase and Brendan's credit, like, they're really like, no, dude, we got to lean into what's different about what you're doing, and treat treat this new stuff not as something servicing your, audience, but you have an audience that, however big, whatever. Like I have a audience of people that want to hear what I'm doing, even if it is different. So
That's cool.
And I think a real fan base wants to hear you evolve and grow.
Yeah.
And if they can hear that in your music, you're giving them everything that they want. And
Man,
I think
I
a lot
hope
of times
so.
we get in that, cycle of, okay, we need to give them the same thing that worked the first time just because that's what gave us our success. And I think a lot of people lose fans that way, in my opinion, just because they're wanting something. I mean, my favorite bands, it's like when they put out a new project, I'm like, all right, let's hear how they've grown, what they're writing about these days, what's going on in their lives. And then you feel like you get a glimpse into, how they're growing up or how their lives have changed because of music. And
Taylor's nailed that.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, dude, she nailed that whole,
Dude.
hey, come along with me. I'm growing up. You growing up too.
But I think some
Yeah.
people are scared, and once they get that first taste of it, it's like, all right, this is my lane, and I have to stay in it. And I get bored when artists do that. So kudos to you for doing that. And,
Man, I appreciate you saying that, and it's just cool to. I think there's certain artists that this isn't part of their story. That just started doing their thing, and then the world caught up to them, and they keep doing their thing, and they can kind of stay true to that, like whatever that guiding light or that ethic that they had, and that's kind of, I think, how when I was getting into the business, I thought that's how it was. But then you get here and you realize, and you hear enough stories, and you realize, like, no, sometimes when a door opens, you got to go through it.
Yeah.
And then you can start to try to, kind of shape the direction of things a little bit. But man, I heard, I don't know if y'all know, I don't know if y'all know Sadler Vaden at all.
Yeah.
He plays guitar for Isbell and produced Morgan Wade's Wilder Days. Just a super, like, I don't know him all that well, but we wrote the other day, and super cool guy. And he said something that was very, like, interesting to me. He was like, man, like, in life we're not like speedboats. We're sailboats. And it's like you kind of catch the wind where it blows, and you can steer it a little, but it's like, man, a lot of times you're just kind of, at the whims of the universe for the most part. And I was like, that's pretty true.
That's cool,
That's pretty
man.
true.
I love that.
Yeah, well, I think we obsess over things that we really have no control over and drive ourselves crazy doing that. So that's an amazing piece of advice.
I thought it was just so like, oh, you're right, man. Like, still trying to fight a headwind, all the time. But
a lot of times I think, the wind's blowing one way, but my goal and my dream I thought was over there. So I'm fighting the wind. When maybe if I just rode that wave, it would bring me back to that point, and I would have gotten there sooner if I hadn't fought it. So.
Yeah, or and y'all mentioned Eric Pasley when we were talking, and he said something really cool one time, introducing Even If It Breaks Your Heart, which that song is an incredible ass song. And I'll just, by the way, the first time I ever heard that song was in Little Rock, Arkansas, and EYB was playing Rev Room there, and they played that song, and I thought it was a Tom Petty cover. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I have to look for this. And then I heard it, and I was like, are you serious? That's their song.
I know they get to have that. Lucky.
Oh my God. And and he said something really cool introducing the song. He was like, man, the thing about following your dreams is that it won't always take you. You always realize that dream, but it'll take you somewhere, and you never know where that somewhere is. Like, with me with basketball, like that was my only one thought until I got to college, and then I hated it. But but it was
funny
my
how
whole,
that works.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and then I got then we got like that dream, that kind of, ended, like it kind of ran its course, but it got me into music. And it took me down a path like I never would have thought that I would ever be on. Or I didn't as a kid. I wasn't one of these that was writing. I always loved music, and I found that out later. Like I really had a passion for it that I just thought everyone had. But that following that one dream took me to, of basketball took me to another dream. And here we are. And it's like I thought it was really a couple great ways, like perspectives to think about what it is that we do and how kind of life works.
Yeah, I'm always grateful to hear stuff like that, just because I feel like, at different points of your career, it's like you feel like you got the blinders off, you're seeing everything, and you kind of see it for what it is, and then you kind of get laser focused on something, and you lose sight of all that, and all the different variables and stuff that can, affect the trajectory of a single release or, a tour or anything else. It's like kind of get tunnel vision, and then you kind of refuse, like you were saying earlier, to be blown where the wind's going to take you. And a lot of times I think that tunnel vision hurts us, and it, destroys kind of some of the creative process, and it takes the joy out of it.
Oh yeah, and especially if you're having, you finally get that success that you want to have, or a taste of it, and things are going. But then there's just a whole different set of pressures that come along with being a business owner, like in being trying to make a payroll of these guys that you love that are in a band with you, that you're all your shit's dependent on another hit, and you're just, and it's all you want, and then I found myself going, I'll make, like, losing sight of the reason I wanted to make music in the first place, for well-intentioned but probably ultimately not helpful perspective of, like, instead of focusing on why I wanted to play music in the first place and everything, focused on let me make some music that people like so that I can keep diesel in the bus and a band on the road. And like, you just don't, it's a problem you always want to have.
Oh yeah.
But
that's a hard line to toe.
There's a lot of pressure, man.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's not like they're putting it on you necessarily, but, and then all of my shit popped off at COVID. Like, Pray For You went number one in the fall of 19. And we started we had like a 30-date tour, 25-date tour that was like, it was good, great. That started January 27th or 8th in San Diego, and it was supposed to end in Foxborough there at Six Strings.
Yeah.
And we got 3/4 of that tour done. We were in New York City, played a show. Then the next night we were on the way in Salisbury, Massachusetts, and played a show. The New York show was like, it was sold out, but it was like 3/4 full, because something was happening.
Everybody started to hear the rumblings.
Then the next day, Salisbury, it was like half full, and then we got the call the next morning. It was like, hey, everything's canceled. That bus made a big turn right there on the whatever, and headed back home. But I mean, you never know. Like, it's another point. Like, you're just a sailboat. Like, you think, okay, everything's going where you want it, and it's like, here we go. Here's a thing that's never happened in 100 years.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Think of it like that.
Yeah. And so the timing of that. Like, now you're about to go out on your headlining tour to support this massive hit.
Yeah.
What does that do to your mental health, and what does that do to just your psyche? Really, just to feel like you were about to just go have the world, by the balls, and then now you're wondering if, is this going to be the end of our career because I'm not going to be able to capitalize on the momentum of what I just worked my whole life for? Like, yeah,
man, it's great. Like, exactly. Those are like thoughts that you can't help but to have. But I really fought against them because for one, my dad passed away in 18, but his best friend is one of his best, basically like my uncle. I mean, he just is family to me.
Yeah.
And he lost, his dad and his brother died within a week. And so
during COVID?
From COVID.
Wow.
Dang.
And so when that happens, and that was just like one thing, but like, regardless of like, of all the like things about whatever, like, I don't really engage in whatever it is, whatever it was. The fact of the matter is that it's like, for me, it would be like getting mad at Hurricane Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I guess I have a reason and I guess I have a reason to be mad about the timing of that, right?
Right.
But anytime I find myself like going, man, if it wasn't for COVID, I know that it's a little bit of a cop-out for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm being a little bitch because it's me trying to give me an excuse for things not going the way that I want them to in that particular moment, or it's a way to give me an excuse to not work, to not write, to not show up. Like, I know that about me because I can feel that, like, self-righteous like thing that kind of feels good, you know, like, well, I did it and this just happened to me. But I just know if I'm doing that, I'm giving myself an out for
sure.
something. And
Absolutely.
so like I try not to, if I keep grinding about it and if I keep going, it's very easy to give myself the slack of, oh, dude, hey man, you were doing so good and this bad thing happened, you know, it's like an insecurity of like, I wouldn't be thinking that because I felt like I was owed more. I felt like I was owed more from that hit, and then Everywhere But On, you know, went #1, but it was like during the pandemic, and I think that I'm like I was owed more.
Yeah.
You know, like nobody owes you shit.
No.
You know, and like nobody owes me shit. And if I moved to Nashville and did this 100 times, this is probably the best it ever turns out. You know what I mean? And I have a chance to write and put out new music and talk to y'all about new stuff, and so it's like it's a trap, you know, for myself.
For sure.
It is a trap.
Well, that's it. I mean, we've talked to a lot of people, and that's one of the most healthy outlooks that I've really heard on it. Because a lot of people do make excuses, and then they'll follow it up with, you know, I'm not bitter, I'm not upset about it, but you can tell in the way they're talking about it, it's like, man, if it wasn't for COVID, I'd be a superstar right now.
Exactly.
Like, really? Like, I mean, there's so many other things that would have had to happen after that, like. But that's like you said, it's an easy way. It's a cop out. It's using that almost as a scapegoat to give yourself an excuse for. Almost, it makes it easy for you to like kind of pat yourself on the back. Like, I would have been this if it wasn't for this.
Exactly, and it's because there's like a grain of truth to like, for sure, had that not happened, it wouldn't have been a bad thing, probably, you know, like I didn't benefit from, but it's like, and for some people, and I don't, you know. Like some people had to deal with a lot of shit that I didn't have to deal with during it. So it's like, that's another part of it too. Like, you know, I watched people lose people.
Yeah.
And I watched people, and I've watched people to, you know, and so it like puts that in perspective. But, you know, it's like, I'm not saying that it didn't have a huge, profound effect on a lot of people. I'm saying for me personally, I know the feeling I get when I give myself slack for that.
Right.
And I know all it does is make me feel good at the expense of my future. Yeah. Like, or what the next song I'm going to write.
I got really good at fishing during COVID. So good at fishing. I fished every day.
I love it.
Down in Florida on Dog Island. There's only like 30 houses on there, and there's an artist named Stevie Muntz. His mom's had a house there, and like, you want to come stay? We're like, yeah. And then a month later, we're still there fishing every day. It was so fun.
Oh, what are y'all fishing for?
Everything, because it was like it's an island, so you can fish on the inlet or literally cast off the deck, and so it's just the ocean, so you never know what you're gonna get. So we caught everything, dude. I caught my first shark. It was so fun.
Oh, that's sick, dude.
That's awesome. So yeah, I'm pretty good at fishing now.
I love COVID. I mean, I hate to say it that way because I have friends that lost people, lost friends to it. I mean, it might have destroyed.
Eric got really good at golf now. Now he's really good.
But at the same time, it like gave us a chance to stop, slow down, realize what mattered, spend time with my wife and kids that I hadn't gotten to for years, and realized how important that is to me. And you know, chasing a dream is a lot of fun, and it's exhausting, but I think you lose sight of the things that really matter. And it was an amazing reset for that, and you know, to kind of reorganize priorities and okay, well, you know, maybe all the eggs I'm putting in this basket should have been put elsewhere. And I don't know, I appreciate it for that. I mean, again, it's like you can't control whether it was going to happen or not. So I try to take, you know, the positives away from it if I can. But really now looking back on it, being, you know, 5 years removed, it's like there were some really good things that happened because of it. And
yeah, one good thing also that happened was the best song, all of the songwriters, but especially the older ones that are awesome writers, that because they're awesome and older, well, this is a long way to say, Zoom happened and it was great because I never liked starting a song on Zoom ever. Like, I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. But now even like Dean Dillon can Zoom to finish a song. Yeah. So we don't have to pick out another day to come together to get the second verse and a bridge. We can Zoom at 9:30 and toss that stuff around.
Those dudes learned how to do it,
and everybody had to learn how to do it. So it's like
that's a good point.
If that one particular thing was great, and I still don't use it that much. I don't know if y'all, but like to finish a song, to hop on Zoom or a FaceTime if it's just a couple of you.
I love that side of it.
Yeah, sure. Like that part.
I just feel like you lose there's no real emotional connection with somebody. Like what I love about a co-write, especially with someone you don't know, is that first 30, 45 minutes, like sitting down with someone, feeling the vibe out, like figuring out, okay, how do I relate to this guy? Does he relate to me at all?
Is he a good kisser?
Yeah, that's always a big question, you know. But like, I love that part of it.
Yeah, I know you do.
But all that to say, you know, I just think it made me realize parts of it that I love, parts of it that I don't necessarily. And then, you know, that was a lot of times, you know, you'll sit 5-6 hours and you'll be almost there, and it's like, oh, can we please finish this today? Like we're busy, we don't have the chance to get back in a room for another 2 months. So to your point, I mean, it's an amazing thing that we can use technology to, you know, with these old guys that, you know, never, like you said, never would have figured it out if they didn't have to. Now it's a really cool piece that we can have, like you said, to finish and prioritize and be more efficient.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of times, I mean, like you say, you get it right with Dean Dillon. Like, what's the chance he's just gonna show up and come back down there just to finish half of a bridge?
Exactly.
And it's cool, like, because sometimes, you know, you get down there, you go through it, you sit in traffic for an hour, you show up in a horrible headspace, but it's like the idea just hits you. It's like, all right, let's get on the computer, call everybody up, and finish this right now. I think it's cool. So, sorry, just to reiterate your point there, but
no, but it's true, man. It's like I heard somebody say, and it seems to be true, that like COVID sped the world up about 5 years. So whatever trend was going on, COVID sped it up, you know, and we see that in a lot of different, you know, ways, just in terms of like, not everything, but a lot of things were that way. Like whatever was happening, it for whatever reason somehow like sped the trend up.
yeah.
And
Well, golf blew up hard, dude.
buddy.
Golf blew up so big after that. I have friends that never even picked up a club now. They're addicted.
Dude, I mean, look at like what it costs to join a club around here. Like I couldn't, like there's like no way that I could like join some of these places, or like, you know, where I play golf. Like I could not justify doing it, like joining the club, what it costs now. I mean, it's like 5 to 7x what it was to join. It's just
and
wild.
all these places have crazy waiting lists now.
Yeah,
and their
dude.
dues, initiations, all are just going up.
Yeah, it's wild, but yeah, I wish I would have. Like, I played a lot of golf. I wish I would have got better, man. I had the worst this summer, bro. I started off the first this year. I was kind of striping it. Like I was putting up some 70s. I was like staying, and then I decided that I wanted to do a little bit of a grip change because of my TikTok algorithm. And
I love it.
and bro, I have been dog shit since about May 23rd. Like, I've been just.
Are you sticking with the grip?
Awful. I mean, at this point, it's kind of like I swam halfway across the river. I can either turn back or keep going and see what's on the other side. So, it's just, bro, it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh,
Golf
man.
is the most. It's my favorite game, but it's also like the most challenging. Like the one game that can just beat me up worse than anything. But it's also an insane like mental exercise.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's you and a ball. I mean, sure, when it hits the ground after you hit it, anything can happen. But it's like you don't really have yourself to blame if you don't strike the ball right.
Exactly.
So,
and
Eric and I added it. I was like, man, we should take some stuff off our rider and add golf for 4, and it works.
golf for 4.
Yeah, so you can bring your friends. Or
That's
they can,
great.
And so like
idea.
we get to play golf at all these places because someone knows a buddy that's a member and they want to golf with you.
Right.
And you have to hang out with a stranger, but they're not a stranger by the end anyways. And you might make a new friend.
We met some of our best friends.
We played some dope courses for free.
Golf for 4 is a great idea. For
That's your rider, dude. And then if it doesn't work out to play, at least like you know the options there every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Keeps you from sleeping all day or whatever.
A lot of times, 100%. Like if it's the promoter that sets it up, he'll come play with you, and it's like a good way to like build a relationship that maybe would have just been very transactional at first, and like now it's like, you know, you hit a good
we
shot.
play like
someone
Sawgrass and stuff because of it. Like
Oh
we
my
play,
God,
yeah, it's like
After you play
for
golf
4.
with a group of dudes for a day, and like even just one person just has an amazing shot, or you make a few like long putts, it's like the camaraderie that comes about because of that. Even if it's someone you don't know, it's like it's a different type of bond that you can create with
Such a
people.
great idea.
it's so
dude.
fun. You got to do it. We were like, why? We don't need this. We don't need this on the rider. We don't even smoke cigarettes anymore. Why is it on here still? Let's take those off.
Well, I need batteries and golf for 4.
Yeah,
Batteries,
we're literally
golf for 4,
our rider's
Sharpies,
pretty close to that.
and Red Bull. That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it used to be all booze, and then I stopped drinking like 10 and a half years ago, and then slowly just kind of decreased.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude,
Put other
we
stuff
end
on
up
there.
like we have like a bottle and a case of Busch Light on, and like I'm just not. I could tell how much I had to do that day with how much gets drank. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, cause we'll sit on the bus. Like, if we're not playing golf, then we're playing golf on PlayStation.
Yeah.
You know, that's our like.
Yeah, that's
every
fun.
bus has their game, you know, and
Yeah.
ours is like, it's the EA golf, like not Tiger Woods anymore, but whatever the golf game.
Yeah, I
is,
have
EA.
it. It's good.
The Masters, yeah. Like
yeah.
that's what we play, and yeah, dude, it's those days where you got to make sure that you go do something. Like I make myself go to the gym or just go for a run, break a sweat as best I can, because it's like, dude, if I don't, I will be a piece of shit from like, especially oh my god, especially this like in the fall and when like football's on,
Yeah,
and it's
I know.
just so
It's all I wanna do.
basketball's on, like it's just so easy to just rot.
Yep.
But
And sometimes I absolutely love just sitting there and rotting.
sometimes I embrace the rot.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I feel like you have to from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
But then if I get too lazy and get to doing it too much, it's like, all right, gotta go to the gym.
Right, exactly. Got to break a sweat.
Because if I don't, then I'm just gonna slowly just get deeper and deeper into that couch.
I'm already sad, and there's still football on, but I'm already sad knowing that the season's getting towards the end. It makes me sad in my heart.
Yeah, dude. I think Thanksgiving is peak
Yeah.
peak football.
It is.
You know, college. If like my stupid ass team, I don't talk about that.
Wait,
but
who's your college team?
Arkansas.
Yeah,
man,
Razorbacks.
we ain't worth a fiddler's damn it, boy.
It's tough.
I was and like
You're an Arkansas State fan at all?
I root for the Red Wolves. I mean, yeah, so
like
yeah,
Eric.
for sure. But
One of his best friends is
One
the
of my
coach
best
there
friends
now.
is the new head coach for the basketball team.
oh, sick.
Ryan Pannone, and then Jordan Fair. Well, we all grew up in Clearwater together, and they're both the coaches there now. So
That's
super
awesome.
fun.
They've got a kid. I don't know if he's still there. A kid from Marlton, Pinion, the transfer from Arkansas to Arkansas State. I think had a couple good years, but I need to follow up there. I don't know if he's still there or.
They have this season is everyone new, so
okay.
he's probably not then.
Gotcha.
They portaled out.
Portaled out. What a time to be alive, dude. What a difference.
Oh, they're making so much money, these kids, man. It's bananas.
Dude, it's crazy.
I wonder what's gonna happen when they change the rules again and they
know.
pull the reins back a little bit, and like these kids thinking like, and parents like, oh, we're just gonna.
They're
cash
already
in,
spending the money in
and
their
then
head.
It ain't
Yeah.
gonna be there.
Dude, I mean, I mean, this isn't like I don't know. I mean, maybe it is, but like these players need to make the money they're generating, and if Arch Manning is worth, he was like $2 million more than the next quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he's worth $4 whatever the number, and we make $5 million a year, like that's fine because it's not like they're gonna charge less to get in or less for the beers or like
Yeah.
the TV deal is gonna be less. That money, that pie is there, so I want them to have it. It would be great if there was some like if it was incentive laden, if you got paid an amount through the season, and then when you upon completion of the season of the bowl game, you get a balloon payment, so you could structure it that it would incentivize you to play towards the end of the year. And then it would be really great if there was some kind of built-in like even if you call it a trust or something where this money does not go directly into the pockets of 19. I would not have been capable of
no.
at 19 years old.
Well, you look at what happened to OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. or whatever. He's made over like $100 million in his career, and he's talking about how broke he is now.
Yeah.
He didn't have nobody around him helping him manage his money. He just all of a sudden was
You
like,
get into it, think you're invincible, you're gonna do it forever, and
Yeah.
this money's always gonna be there.
Which is like, you know, when you get to the league, especially like I know basketball now, the the initiation stuff for rookies is very structured towards that, and you don't hear the horror stories that the amount that you used to hear from like the AIs and stuff like that. Of I guess AI means artificial intelligence. I'm talking about
Allen Iverson.
I'm talking about the answer,
The original.
yeah.
Gosh, I loved him.
But like you don't hear those stories as much now because of a lot of that early intervention. And I'm sure there's kids. I'm sure there's people associated with these colleges that are giving this. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're setting these kids up for success because, dude, I mean, it would be so, you know how easy it would be to spend $100,000, a truck and a watch.
I know at Florida State, I was just there and I was talking to this girl that's like kind of part of the football payment thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And I do know that they're not getting like big lump sums up front. They get like a paycheck.
Yeah.
So it comes
like
like
a draw out of
like
trust,
you're getting
you were
paid
saying.
like every
Paychecks.
2 weeks or a Friday, like every Friday. Like you're getting
Yeah.
so at least they're spreading it out a little bit.
Yeah, dude, because it's golly, man. If you didn't have, there's just so many ways for that to go wrong, but yet it's the right thing to do. Right?
It is the
Or
right
even
thing
giving
to
them
do.
a,
I
like
love
smaller payments like that. It's like they're still gonna go buy a $30,000 watch.
Yeah.
Whereas if
You have
they
to wait a
had
couple
if
weeks.
they had 300 grand, they would have gone and bought a Lambo with it.
Right,
And so
exactly.
now they're just gonna have $15,000-$30,000 watches.
Yeah, I
and-
mean, so many of these colleges have like these big ass, endowments and things that get invested and like, I mean, there's got to be a way to like, I don't know how we're talking about this. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying shit that there probably already is an answer to that I don't know. But hopefully these kids are being set up for success.
Yeah.
Have you heard the stories of like young guys, rookies that would come in, they get, let's say, just $1.5 million signing bonus or something, and the vets on the team, basically it was like a thing where the rookie would have to take a couple $100,000 of their bonus and like go out and like buy the entire team, their families, dinner, wine, everything, like, and it was like whereas in baseball it's like the vets in like spring training, like they'll pick up the team dinner and they'll do all that stuff, but it's like a hazing type thing. And NFL, NBA, I've heard that like they'll make these young guys that don't have the money go just drop a bag on all these other guys.
It's
and
crazy.
Yeah,
like
man,
even
that's
that,
wild.
feeling like you have to do that 2 or 3 times at the beginning of the season. Now half your money's gone just
That's
so
wild.
you could
Yeah.
Them NBA players party different, dude. I experienced it in Dallas one time because I knew one of the players and I was like, yeah, I'll go out with you guys because their face recognition is so much more than like any other sport.
They're 6'8" and they don't play with a helmet. Yeah,
Exactly.
like they just stand out. Yeah, they're just like, yeah.
It was wild. I was like, oh, this is what it's like. It was and they're in Dallas right after the game. It was insane.
Yeah, but how can a young guy thrown into that? Like, how can you expect him to just, all right, we're expecting you to keep it all together and be real mature
keep
now.
it
At the age of
together.
18, you have every woman imaginable throwing herself at you.
Oh, dude,
like,
it was
Right.
3 deep in a circle around these dudes. Like
I bet
all
you
tens.
I bet you in one guess I could tell you who it is. I'm not going to do it on here, but I bet you in one guess I could tell you who you were partying with. I bet you I could in one guess.
I'm curious. After this, we're going to.
Yeah. Yeah, or the initial CP.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, good job.
Yeah.
How long have you known him? Like, a while, right?
Yeah,
You knew each other in like high school?
from
or
from
college?
high school.
Yeah.
I used to help his team out, his coach.
I don't know anything about anything. Like, that sounds like I know. I just had like
That's awesome.
an inkling. Yeah, yeah. Because the circles are kind of small. I have some friends that are
And
that
you know
are
I
in.
was from Florida.
Yeah, yeah. So Mike Miller's a good friend of mine.
Is he?
Speaking
That's
of Florida,
cool.
yeah, yeah. Mike lives in Memphis now. I just saw him last Sunday. We were watching football on the way back from on the way back from killing a
And then
deer.
Luke Laux is now the coach of Florida State, or I used to play against him in high school.
That's wild, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
That's pretty fun.
I do have one more question for
So
you.
funny.
I've always been intrigued by this. Like, I feel like at the beginning of our career, we had something kind of similar happen. It was a Disney label, but like they created a different label for us, for political reasons. But I think I remember hearing you say at one point or read that you were more on like a hip hop type situation that created a country kind of imprint
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. So my first record deal was it was a Sony imprint, but they just basically they didn't have a country artist. Like they had like some rappers like Lennon Stella, and they had like I forget the Cyrus, not Miley's
Cyrus?
younger sister.
Noah?
Noah. Thank you. Who's great. Like I should have known that. Like, But anyway, and some rappers, some like just like sign. Oh, they had was it 24 Karat Golden and stuff. Like they would basically they were in the business of like when a single was bubbling up, they would sign it and then
keep it going or something. Make
yeah,
it,
exactly.
Make it bigger or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So so that was the thing. Like they were, I mean, basically when Prayed for You happened, it like did well on streaming platforms and you know they gave it a chance and it was like independently doing well, and so that label just tried to do the same thing that they did with like rappers, you know, like, you know, if something popped off on Rap Caviar like that, then they would sign it, and they just did the same thing off of that, and that's where that happened. And then they staffed up. They didn't have a radio staff. They staffed that up, and then when that song got to basically the top 40, then they did a co-venture with Sony Nashville, and then Sony. So that's how that happened. And then Sony Nashville left, and it was just because Records was the name of the label. Records had its own staff, and I was with them for like 5 or 6 years, something like that, and 4 or 5, something like that. And man, for the most part, they were great people.
Yeah. The reason I ask is because when we were on RCA at Sony, I noticed, like, I remember seeing your singles start to do some stuff, and then all of a sudden, people that we worked with at Sony, I sado them posting about your songs.
Yeah.
So I figured there was some type of co-venture that happened, but I never knew the details of it, so I was curious. That's really cool.
Man. Yeah.
Do you feel like that was a cool thing to have different perspective as far as people that are not necessarily Nashville, kind of working on the marketing promotion side of things?
Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons, you know, for sure. The you know, the pro is, you know, like you had somebody willing to take a chance on me, you know, from a label standpoint, because it wasn't like, you know, we didn't have labels beating down our doors, you know, when that happened, and so that was cool. And then, you know, we probably got some leeway on creatively when I was making music to an extent, because they weren't in the country world. Right. You know, they couldn't really have a whole lot of opinions on country music, like informed opinions on country music, and they didn't necessarily try to. You know, they could read the tea leaves of, okay, this is working, should we kind of do this and whatever. So in that respect, it was good, and the people were good. Like, they really built a good staff of people I'm close with, and that's cool. Here in Nashville, and you know, George Burge is on that label too, and had a lot of success with those same people. And
like Jamise Jennings.
Jamise, yeah, man, Jamise was like family. She's great.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's fantastic. And so in that respect, it was good. The side of it that's not is country music. Radio still matters, obviously, and radio for a record label, I think it's my impression that it's that's the biggest expense for the smallest reward for a record label. Like, what they would rather have is you to pop off a huge streaming song and go from, because it's expensive to take a song to radio. Right. But it matters still, but it not like it did, you know, like, you know, you can name the the Zach Bryans of the world that have never had that kind of radio success, but sell out fucking arenas, you know, and go to country music. Yeah, so in that respect, they weren't, you know, there was some, like, that's always hard. It takes a lot of money, and so, you know, and obviously, you know, the relationships that an established major had versus, you know, somebody coming in the side door is that's where you would maybe be glad that you were co-ventured or something like that.
And when that happened, like when you kind of did that co-venture with Sony Nashville, did you notice any life injected into it once you had those Nashville country people pushing it, as opposed to somebody that's an outsider?
Yeah, because you get to a point where, you know, they can leverage their relationships to the people that make decisions pretty easy, and so yeah, and then also with, you know, you go from, you know, you get a song to about the 30s, you know, about 30 or so, and to get over that hump, you're relying on national syndication, right? And so that's where you can really see something pop or not. Like, I had experience where I really thought, like, my third single, That Ain't Me No More, was Hardy and Smith and it doesn't matter, but like it was an outside cut. I heard it was a first listen. I was like, and it was much more the kind of music I wanted to make. Right. And I thought, like, this is a can't miss first listen smash. And I didn't even write it. Like I wasn't, the first two I wrote, and this one I wasn't even write it. I was being like,
it's good if you're willing to do somebody else's song.
Right, exactly. Like because for obvious reasons, you hope what you write is the thing, but especially on the come up. But I heard that song, I was like, oh, this is it. This is the music I want to make. How is this not a smash? And it died at 31 or something because of the national syndication thing, and because of politics within the label. They needed someone else. They needed someone else to do well at that point. And, and so
we know that story.
We've been victim of that so many times.
Yeah,
oh man, we've had radio programmers be like, hey, our radio team didn't know that we're friends with them. Okay, just so you know, they said. I asked them, I have room for one song. Which one do you want? And they'd said the other guy. And I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Because
what we heard in the van was something completely different. They chose this one.
I
it's
said,
like,
thank you.
Yeah.
We will remember that.
Yeah.
And that's why we're like, oh, that's why our song's not.
Yeah. And there's some horse trading that goes on. And like, I've been on the benefit of some of that, I'm sure.
Yes.
At times.
Yep.
But then there's times where I definitely was not. And, it's a reality of stuff, but it's hard to swallow, man. It's hard to be like, man, you're out here trying to play these shows and trying to chase something. And as long when everybody's incentivized properly, you can live and die with the result. Yeah. When somebody else's livelihood is contingent upon the success that makes your livelihood, great, we're in the same boat.
Right.
But when you got a foot in two boats, man, or somebody else is like not, that's when it becomes. I just don't. It'd be really hard to have success that way. Like you'd have to like have some things just luckily break your way. Yeah. Is you're not set up for it. The process isn't great that way. So
and one thing I've learned is like the process is definitely not the same for everybody.
Oh, it's just 100%.
This town, especially. If a label's having success, it's like they love to tell you, well, this is what works. And
right.
This is proof. I'm like, all right, well, I saw 6 times you did that before that worked for that artist that it didn't work, and now you're going to hang your hat on this artist's success, so I won't push back. It's like...
Hey, man, we're sitting in Riley's bar, and, Grandpa's Never Died was like a top 5. It didn't even go to number 1. And one of the first shows back from COVID, it was me... Russell Dickerson,
love him.
Dylan, Scott, and Riley. We're in Rupp Arena.
Nice.
And we're the 4 of us are opening up for John Party. This is all acoustic.
That's a fun show.
Yeah, and so but here's the thing: the stage is a square in the middle of Rupp Arena.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so we're all facing a different direction.
Oh, that's
and
weird.
buddy, I felt so bad for the ones facing me because they wanted to be facing Riley so bad. I was like, I even think I was like, hey man, I'm gonna play these songs. Y'all want me to play Grandpa's Never Died? Yeah. I'll do my and like so watching. That was just an interesting setup, but just watching the power that song had. Mm-hmm. And everybody else, they crushed it, for sure. But like watching the way he's done it, is so different from the way that most people do it, Yep. And there's not a way. The way is however you can make it work.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's
true. The way starts with good songs, strong brand. We know the way that it works, but like in between there's an ocean of good songs and an ocean of brands. It's like, how do you pick one? You just but you're swimming those. Anyway, I don't get off on that tangent, but it's very different from like certain things work, certain things you gotta have money. You gotta have a great song. You gotta have people understand who you are, but yeah, it's definitely a different strokes for different folks kind of
for
thing.
Sure. What do you got coming out new? I know you had said you're working on a project. You're
releasing
like single by single.
Yeah.
Kind of
yeah, man. So I got this new project called The Drift. It's really like sort of I don't know if rebrand's the word, but so basically I was turning in a lot of music that I love, and it wasn't fitting the brand of who I had been traditionally. And in the past, that's always been that's been a little bit of a no-no, or hey, cool, but we're trying to get the next hit.
Hey, yeah, really cool, really cute.
Yeah, exactly. And so now, with partnership with which I got to say, Chase Miller, Brendan Rich over at Rich Management that really do, they manage me and several other people that are awesome. But they were just like, hey, man, why don't we figure out a situation where you being different and doing different stuff isn't a liability, where it's an asset, and at least get this stuff out there. Yeah, dude, because I mean, people don't need my help singing about some of this stuff, like I love country music, but I also don't just love country music, and so anything I do is going to have a foot in there because I can't help it. But so I started making music that was just kind of had the guardrails off a little bit, in terms of the sounds and what I wanted to do.
I bet it's been fun, huh?
It's been so fun. Oh my God, it's been so fun. And we had our first single drop off of the project called The Drift, and we had our first single drop off of that last week, and it's been great. It's called Sugarcoat, and yeah, man, it's a little bit different. It's melody based. It's a little bit, it's gritty, but it's got some digital sounds with some analog sounds. And
cool.
How many do you have planned for this?
For sure 3. I've got for sure 3, and probably more.
And then so you'll drop them like
single by single,
and then put them together after
Correct.
they're out together. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
man.
smart.
Yeah, it's been great, and like I say, I've really been empowered by not only my management, but also my publisher. I got out of my deal with records in April, and they came and wanted to do a label deal, basically to kind of release this kind of music and this kind of stuff. And they've not had one like stifling thing to say, and they've been a great partner and willing to put their money where their mouth, and they've just been great. And so so I've been really enjoying this season of making music, and
that's fun.
And this new stuff that I'm coming out, man, I'm pumped about it, dude. It's different and it's fun, and I can't wait to next year to tour on it. So
That's dope.
You lean into any of that, wedding guy vibe at all? Any of this?
No,
or is this more of the other stuff you're talking about?
It's like, dude, honestly, it's kind of like it's defined by what it's not. Like the next thing I've got coming off of it doesn't really sound like the first thing. Like it's tough to talk about, explain music, because then I always say, like, I end up like comparing my shit to the best people ever, know. So I don't mean it that way. I just mean it like I'm doing something completely different here, and what holds it together is kind of what it's not, and it's kind of following my muse. Like, I really moved to town. I wanted to be like Pazlay. I wanted to be like Jaron Johnson. I wanted to write huge songs for artists to cut and then follow my muse wherever it took me.
Right.
And basically my manager and my publisher are like, well, you can do that now.
Right.
You kind of can, like, force it to have a quote unquote hits I can rest on, but then I can still write for other artists, and really excited about that too, man. I got some stuff coming out with some people that I really love, and then I can also do this project, which is
feels like that's kind of like the sweet spot, right?
Dude.
When you can be an artist and do whatever it is you want on that lane, and then have the freedom to do that because of the other stuff.
Well, you can only record so many songs and put them out yourself, so and you write way more than you're gonna put out. So it's like, what do I do with all this? It's like it's just gonna sit there and do nothing, or give it away.
100%. So I get to write in that country world, which I love. I get to release music that scratches, that makes that kid that was learning to play guitar in his dorm, it excites that part of me.
Making him proud.
Yeah, man. And then getting to write, like I said, for other artists is it's really a sweet spot for me.
That's really cool.
Awesome, dude.
It was awesome that you've been able to get there. And it's been fun to watch the trajectory of your career and to be able to be at this spot that you're in. It seems, I'm inspired by it. Just, you seem excited and passionate about it in a different way. Not that we've been friends or anything,
but on the creative process, when you feel like, especially when you have to go promote something, which is like not why you get into this.
Right.
You want to put music out and for the music to do the talking, But the reality is you got to go out and play stuff so people know who you are and whatever. But dude, you can tell like when you're energized by something and when it's like
our Angel Eyes story, man. Where the label picked a different song and we had to go like pretend like we're so excited about this single. And we're like, yeah, but we have this one over here, and so they actually switched it halfway through. Praise the Lord, because it was our first big hit. But yeah, you're right. Like you were like, oh yeah, no, this song, we really love this song, right, Eric?
Yeah. But as soon as they changed it, it was like, yeah, we'll do anything. We'll go play any free show. We'll do this, because before we knew, it's like, all right, we know how hard this is. We'd already had a single take a year to go just number 6 on the chart. It's like, like twiddling our thumbs, like, okay, what's gonna happen here? It's like, I don't know, it just gives you a.
Eric, you do this interview, bro. I can't fake this one today, man.
Yeah, it's like you're just sitting there pissed off because it's like, man, you're not giving us our best shot. Like,
right.
And then when they finally did, it was like, all right, now we're off to the races and let's make this thing happen. Let's take it on and let's do whatever we can to make it happen. And
and you can, again, you can only do what you can do, but the things you can control are the, or at least I'm fortunate enough to now that I can control. It's like putting that song first, and being able to be the champion for it because it comes from a very real, place. Not that it doesn't come from a real place. I've only, with the exception of like 1 or maybe 2 songs, I've never put out something that I didn't believe in. Yeah. I've never put out something that, and it's I'm ashamed to say that, but I have, because of those pressures we were talking about before, man. You start feeling like, dude, stop, get your head out of the clouds, man. You got to make a payroll. Go play songs that you think people like, and guess what? It may work for some people, but it did not work for me.
No.
So,
whether you have a great manager or bad manager, it's like, they're in your corner kind of telling you what you should and you shouldn't be doing, and I do think most of the time they do have your best interest at heart.
If you have a good situation, because their success is tied to yours. I mean, it's like, it's not even an indictment on character per se. It's a structural thing. Like, you can only 100% is not the same amount all the time.
Right.
Like, you can give 100% on a Tuesday, and that won't be as much as 100% on the next Saturday. Your tank will just be deeper when you have the love for what you're doing, or you're rested, or you have the energy, or whatever, whatever. It like, I find that most people give 100%. It's just that the reservoir is deeper when you have that passion behind it, and it's not something you can fake.
Yeah, and I don't think it is as taxing on people when it's something that they are passionate about, and it doesn't, drain them the same way as.
If anything, it energizes you. It's like you wanna pour it out so you can, because you can fill back up. You got like 100%.
I think that's like a decent comparison would be like a dead end job versus your dream position at a law firm or something that you've always wanted.
Oh,
and, I mean, you're gonna work differently. You're gonna pursue what you're passionate about in a different way.
Yeah, and that's it. That's a great example for sure.
Ooh, well, I think we've covered a lot.
We've covered a lot of ground, man. I appreciate it.
Coming on, man.
Good to see y'all fellas, man.
You as well, and I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us. Been a fan for a while, and it's cool to just sit down and chat with you. So
likewise,
we appreciate
man.
it.
Likewise. Y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
I don't know when this is coming out. Have a happy Valentine's Day.
Try to get it out. Try to get it out next week, actually.
Oh, so perfect.
If
perfect.
That's cool with you. We'll
I love it, man. I love it.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you. Check stuff out. If you're not familiar with Matt Stell, appreciate you watching, and we'll see y'all next week.
He's right here.
It's me.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Hell yeah.